What first got you into doing magic?
Well, it's like most magicians, they get fascinated at a very early age. I, at 7 years old, saw a magician at my school, and I told all the kids around me that's exactly what I want to do for the rest of my life, and now I'm living the dream. It's amazing. Never quit.
Where did the idea of adding a mix of comedy come from?
Well, I'm a class clown. I was always a class clown, getting in trouble in school and pulling pranks and practical jokes and doing impressions of the teacher and things. And I realized that magic was a great vehicle for the comedy. So what I always say to an audience is I perform comedy and magic. So whatever you don't laugh at, that's the magic.
There have also been so many famous magicians over the years. Which ones would you say inspired you most?
Like your readers probably know the famous ones, Doug Henning, David Copperfield, David Blaine, Chris Angel, the ones that have been on TV. My favorite ones are ones that you may not know, and a few of them are passed away. I call one my father in magic because I sort of emulate his style and his sort of pack small, play big. I could do an hour show out of my pockets, and his name was Carol Fox, and he was a Detroit area magician, very successful, and he took me under his wing, and I learned a lot from him, and he's been gone now for a number of years, about 10 years or so, but I still think of him almost every time I go on stage.
How did you get involved with the Illusionists?
I had already been a veteran of 15 years on the Las Vegas Strip, performing every night and 2 shows a night, 6 days a week, and I got a call from a producer who I never heard of and said, hey, I'd like you to be part of a show. And, of course, I get calls like that all the time, and I was very skeptical. And then the guy said, well, we're going to open at the Sydney Opera House. And I had been to Australia before, but I had always thought of the Sydney Opera House as some place that I would probably never do a show at. And lo and behold, next thing you know, less than a year later, the show's mounted. We're selling out 2 weeks' worth of shows, over almost 40,000 tickets sold out at the Sydney Opera House. And that was almost over 3.5 years ago, and still going strong.
What can audiences expect from your act in The Illusionists?
Well, they don't know. That's what the best part is. A lot of people will come into this show and they'll say, I had no idea. They said, I just thought this was a magic show. They said, this is so much more. You have a danger suspense. You have grand illusion. You have escape artistry. You have hilarious comedy. And what they expect out of me, well, the name is the trickster. You just don't know what to expect out of me. Basically, I'll steal your belongings off your person and nobody knows the wiser. So I'm the thief that smiles as he takes your goods.
You've been doing magic all over the world. What has been your favorite part about traveling?
Well, the favorite part about traveling right now, just as you called, I finished a round of golf. I love golf, and I get to see the country, I get to see the world, I get to meet all the different people, and basically traveling and having fun on somebody else's dime is about as good as you can get.
What can you tell us about your years of performing in Las Vegas?
When you're doing 2 shows a night, 6 days a week, and then doing private gigs in between those shows across the street at different, private parties and corporate functions, the best part about, working on the Strip of Vegas is that you're on the Strip of Vegas. That's pretty much heaven on earth for any entertainer, and I was very blessed. And being a poor kid from Detroit, everyone, my whole family said, "Oh, you've done well." And I guess I look back and, yeah, I think I did pretty well. And now this show, The Illusionist, is, my life just keeps getting better and better. I think the deck is stacked in my favor.
You've won so many awards throughout your career. Which one meant the most to you?
There's been so many, but apparently the first one I ever won was at the age of 13 years old at Abbott's Magic Get-Together, they call it, in Colon, Michigan, which is dubbed the magic capital of the world. I was performing, and I won first place. And I thought, wow, that's about it. That was very special because it was my first award among my peers and all the other magicians. And ever since then, I've still got friends till this day that I keep in touch with and travel with and meet around the world. And magic's a very small clique, but I made many friends that day that I still have, and I'm very blessed with those friends too.
Is there any advice you'd like to give any aspiring young magicians out there?
Yes, I would say don't do it. Leave all the work for me. No, actually, seriously, I think the most important part is to have the audience like you first. And if they like you, they'll like what you do.
Jeff, I thank you very much for devoting your time to this interview, and I wish you all the best of luck with The Illusionists.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to performing in your area.